Okay, so let's talk about a hot topic, which is agent compensation from the selling side, meaning the firm that is going to put your home on the market, versus the buying side, which is the firm that would be purchasing your home. If we are in a situation to where there is a different agent and a different firm on the buying side, then the compensation can be different versus the dual agency, which is discussed in a different video of, me being on both sides and running the entire transaction rather than only running the transaction on the selling side and a different person running the transaction on the buying side. So if we have a buyer and a buyer's agent, they will put in with their offer how much they're requesting the agent to get compensated. They're asking you to compensate them for a certain percentage of the purchase price or a flat fee. 99% of the time, it's a percentage of the total purchase price. Years ago, less than 2 years ago, it was essentially a standard that sellers had to pay the buyer's agent 3%. Although this is negotiable, it was not educated to the sellers that this was a negotiable fee. And so this major lawsuit unfolded to where a seller did not realize that they didn't have to pay the 3% to the buyer's agent, that it was negotiable. And so now it is a very well-known thing that sellers do not have to come out of pocket 3% for the buyer's agent. It's also negotiable for the selling agent. Like for our firm, our percentage is negotiable, but that does mean you're cutting out some things that would be available to you and the services. So, we can discuss that if that's ever something you want to talk about. But just know that for the buyer's agent, that's a lot more flexible for you because they can submit an offer. And if it is a very, very strong and good offer, and you say, okay, I'm willing to pay that agent 3% and we'll accept it, then great. But if you say, okay, this offer is not entirely what I had in mind, but we'll still go for it. But I only want to dish out 2% to the other agent. Well, that's something that we can negotiate. And we'll talk about it if that were to arise and what that means for you. But just know that when I am pricing your home, I am taking into consideration the compensation that will be taken out at closing and what that would still net you at the end of the day. So if you tell me, hey, Joe, I need to net a certain amount at the end of the closing, I will say, okay, let's see how we can get you there. And let's price the home accordingly so that when you leave the closing table, you are going to come out with the amount that you need and you won't be feeling like you got undercut just because you had to come out with some compensation. Also, you don't have to pay for any compensation, but just know that that would really inhibit our ability to find a buyer and a buyer's agent that would be willing to go under contract or something like that. But it's doable and it's your choice. So just know that those are your options for that. And it may sound complicated because it is, and we can definitely dive into that topic if you've got some questions that comes up about it.